Is the romance with the dating apps over? This is the last story I wanted to cover for today. Big cuts at Bumble and Match.com raised questions. Bumble reported a total revenue of about $247 million in its most recent first quarter, down 8% from the same period a year ago. That's not that big of a drop. Bumble, like
it is
the online dating industry itself,
though, because it's been on a downward decline for a bit.
And the paragraph before, they said that they're going to cut like
240 employees. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's going to lay off a third of its workforce with an anticipated savings of $40 million. Wow, what is the average salary of those? Holy crap.
That's the thing is like, well, dating apps cater to a lot of people who aren't serious. It's hookup culture. It's married.
The average salary is 170 grand of these people, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Sweet. I'm going to apply for a job immediately.
Not a great time.
We can fix the app, Santa Claire.
Well, I think you're right. Like you're saying that they are now kind of like, it was funny because there was like Tinder, right? But then Tinder became known as the hookup app, so then there had to be another one, or like Bumble.
But then all the other ones turned into hookup apps too. It's crazy.
Right, like you can't get away from it.
Even people who lie and say, "Oh yeah, I want a relationship," and then you find out that guy's married.
Yeah.
Well, it's like what I was gonna say with Murray Hill. He alluded to it. I was like, when that girl's like, "I'm a Mamdani supporter," he's like, he clearly admitted. And no disrespect, because I know this is how people work. Like, he's like, well, if she's hot enough, I would have lied. Like, these apps are full of just.
There's.
I get the feeling Murray Hill might be using those apps to for a little bit of more fun, but I don't know that answer.
Well, but also, that makes sense because that's what they like encourage, right? Like,
right.
It's the there's always another thing out there. You just swipe endlessly, and and I mean, I was never on an app, but all of my friends who use them, I can think of one person who was in a long-term relationship, and it was like the second person she ever swiped on. They dated for 100 years. It doesn't seem like it's encouraging long-term relationship, which means that something about the model is broken.
A friend of mine married his girl he met on Tinder.
But
they're the exception, not the rule.
50 people.
Right. Yeah. Both of my brothers met their wives on dating websites. Okay. It was before the apps got as popular, but like eHarmony and Match, I believe, is where they met their wives. But those were very,
those had like more robust profiles, right?
They were more serious. Yeah. It was like, you're looking for a relationship. You're looking to get married. Like that was what those websites were for. But then you had, the Tinder blew up, Bumble and all of those that they turned more casual as opposed to the old school websites.
Yeah. And Match.com, the overarching company, acquired Tinder ultimately.
Right.
So it's like all of those apps were like, I agree with you. Like I think of Match.com, and there were a couple other where they were like, you open a computer, you do it on a website.
Right.
Those ones were serious. For some reason, there's like a disconnect. But what this article talks about ultimately is like, there's fatigue. Like people are trying to meet in the wild. And I've seen this anecdotally, like swiping through social media of girls doing like vlogs where they're saying like,
yep, I've seen that.
30 of like trying to meet someone in the wild.
Yep. Yeah. I tried the apps before and quit a while ago, and I just have no interest in trying them again because a couple of reasons, because there are a lot of liars on there who are cheating on their spouses, but then there's also just the element of it's just so high pressure. It's like, here's a stranger you've never met in your life. You see their pictures, so you think you're attracted to them, but you don't know for sure. Then you meet in person and you have to vet this person to see if they're marriage material when that's the first time you've ever met in your life. It's way too high pressure.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've ever
You're starting a little ways
like
up the road.
Ever. Like normally you would meet people like through friends of friends, or like way back in the day you'd get met up, or like you'd church,
work,
book club,
things like that. Yeah.
You would have some sort of personal touchstone with them. It's actually like a completely very recent modern invention to be like, and I've conjured someone out of the sky, and let's see if we have anything in common. And I think there is a problem with that.
Elena Echo said, I met my wife at a speed dating thing at Comic-Con. 10 years with a baby on the way.
Oh, that's so
great.
sweet.
But you started with that touch tone.
You did.
Like you were watching, you were with somebody who you already had something in common with.
I think all of these conferences, like not just like political ones, but they should do it, religious ones, but also like Comic-Con. If you have a book you're really into, like whatever it is, they should have a speed dating session. All of them should. I bet they would be more successful than these apps long term.
Yeah,
for sure.
Skyline said, I matched with my girlfriend on Tinder while I set my location to Thailand before I went there. 1 year in and still going well. German passport and GER passport. I don't know what that means. Get a passport and keep a head level and keep your head level.
Well, he's saying date outside the country, which, people were doing.
A lot of guys are doing that. The passport bros. Yeah. I don't have a problem with it. I think that you're setting yourself up like, I don't have any problem with it at all, actually. It's totally fine. Well, if you're just as likely to meet somebody, through a dating app in the United States, well, who's to say you won't meet a Taiwanese person? Now, Skyline, I would recommend you check to see if there's a little, make sure there's not a twig and berries hidden under there, because it is Thailand, and they are the world's foremost center of the ladyboys. But
I've known people who have met their spouses while traveling or like studying abroad or whatever, but that's also like you going somewhere and doing something you're interested in.
Right.
I don't know that that's so different than potentially meeting someone at a convention that you're interested in the subject matter.
Yeah. Someone said apps don't work when fat 4 out of 10 think they deserve 6'2" jack dudes. Well, that's the problem with dating apps. They don't accept the reality. And by the way, they're setting themselves up for failure. Like, they're going to wait for that one guy who drunkenly hooked up with them 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago until it's 2 or 3 years later. And then they're going to be like, oh, crap. I wasted all this time and now I'm 2 years older. And, all the guys who I should have been dating have found somebody, Shannon says, only 2 berries, size are twins in tummy, now close to grape size. Oh, yeah, you said she's pregnant, so that's good, yeah. JJ from Iowa says, try dating as a 47-year-old truck driver. The average person thinks they have it tough trying to date. Yeah, I think as a truck driver, you're going to deal with some bullshit misconceptions, too. They're going to think you're poor and all this other crap. That's just simply not true about that profession.
I think probably any profession where you'd have to travel a lot must make it more challenging.
Right.
Yeah, but what about lot lizards? I heard those are good.
Oh, no, don't.
Well, what are they good for,
Jim? You don't want to get AIDS.
Yeah, they're good for giving you AIDS, I thought. That's what I thought.